Fucking hello, everybody. I am Brazil, back with another extremely unprofessional commentary with a lot of swearing and other bullshit, so I'll just get right into it. This is a Mesmer video for, I guess, people that want to fucking know how to play Mesmer. So, starting out, we're going to just jump onto armor. We've got Berserker's armor, very obviously, like everything in PvE is using that is competitive. So, Berserker stats with Scholar Runes. Scholar Runes are just fucking incredible. If you can't afford them because they are expensive, then you can go the route of Ruby Orbs. Less DPS with Ruby Orbs, you have like 2% more crit chance. I don't think it's worth it, but it's up to you. If you don't feel that you're going to be able to maintain your 90% health, then Ruby Orbs may be a good option for you. It's just kind of personal. I will always take Scholar Runes, especially kind of with Mesmer, because with like Blurred Frenzy or shit, you can fucking like avoid every damage from bosses. Yeah, that was a good sentence. My apologies, but anyways, weapons, sword focus, and then I usually do like sword pistol. You could also do sword. This again is up to you as well. I like sword focus definitely, especially because of like focus pull and your Phantasmal Warden, which I'll get into traits in a minute, but these are pretty useful when traded correctly. One reason I like, I guess, pistol is because of the duelist. The duelist. Sorry. It tends to kind of stay out of the way, like especially if you're fighting Lupicus, it'll just kind of sit back, it won't get kicked, or whatever else the case is. It kind of stays out of the way. Same thing with Swordsman. Swordsman is like a jump in and jump out type of a thing, but both of them tend to avoid getting hit, especially with bosses that don't really move around, so it's kind of convenient because they usually just sit there in DPS whenever they're off cooldown. But moving on to Trinkets, I have not bothered to get a full Ascended set for my Mesmer yet. I kind of stopped doing dailies and quit giving a fuck about commendations and shit for whatever. But I don't. It's not a huge deal if you can't get Ascended gear. Not everyone's gonna be able to do it on all three alts. There are plenty of people that do, I'm sure. But fuck, if you're not gonna min-max out the ass, then you don't really need to worry about it. Underwater weapons, you obviously want to go with your level 1 Trident and Breathing Mask. That's going to help you out, especially in the Crate Fractal. You're going to be doing a lot of support to your team, and yeah, that's about it for weapons and stuff. Well, I guess aside from Greatsword, you can get a... What the fuck is there a Sigil of Air on this for? Just ignore that completely. That should be force, but then again, I don't ever use it anyways. Like, it's... Greatsword is worthless unless you need to range something. It's a ranged weapon, and that's exactly how it should be viewed. I don't have a need for ranged weapons aside from like the Dredge Power Suit or the Legendary Imbued Shaman. That's pretty much all you got to range. So we'll just continue moving along at a steady pace, and we'll get into traits. So we've got 1030-030. And if you had been reading my thread on Guild Wars 2 Guru, then you'll see that I recently made a big deal about this because of Shattered Conditions with 30 in Inspiration. And oh my god, it's gonna be the Guardian replacer. Fuck yeah. You don't need condition removal on Guardian anymore. Turns out ArenaNet is fucking retarded as usual, and Shattered Conditions is a goddamn abomination of a fucking trait. Holy shit. Whoever designed that, fuck you in the ass. But I don't know. It could definitely be improved. It's very deceptive with conditions. Fucking help your party survive. It's a lie. Although I guess it works. I'll talk about it in a minute. But to get the ball rolling, we've got 10 in Domination, Empowered Illusions. Illusions inflict 15% more damage. So yeah, your phantasms, those are counted as illusions, I do believe. Illusions, I think, are everything, but whatever. And 3 stacks of vulnerability when you interrupt a foe. That's good too. Like, I don't know if anything that interrupts, like your focus pull or whatever else. So that's nice. Dueling, the big reason I guess I have 30 dueling still, and someone pointed this out to me I do apologize because no, was it X-Ray on Guru? Fuck, I don't know. I'm giving a shout out and I didn't even mean to do it. Maybe I'm even getting the name wrong, but thank you, whoever it was. Um, you've got precision and crit damage in this trait line, so that's really good, and I think it's probably worth the extra points to pick up something like Duelist Discipline, but that in a minute. So we've got Critical Infusion. I don't think I've ever read this tooltip, so I'm just going to ignore it again. Blade Training, obvious. You've got one-handed sword cooldown. If you run sword, which I don't really, I just don't like it as much, I guess. It's nice because you've got a block in the swordsman or whatever. That will affect your offhand sword as well, so it's sort of like your main hand and offhand both get the cooldown, and then you don't have to take something like Duelist Discipline. But anyhow, we've got Sharper Images again. I don't even think I fucking read this, but apparently it's illusions. Inflict bleeding on crits, so yeah. Borrow one from the Rangers, I guess. And then we've got Phantasms of Fury. Now that I've seen this, is really gonna fucking irritate me because those for my OCD, I should really switch those. Yeah, bear with me while I do this actually. So yeah, Phantasms, Phantasmal Fury, Phantasms of Fury. That's huge. 20% crit chance. What can I say? It's obvious. Take it. It's good. Confusing combatants. I don't care. Moving on. Duelist Discipline. Pistol recharge by 20%, and the range is increased. So that's good to have. If you don't play with pistol, for example, you can take, where is it? Fucking hell. Deceptive Evasion, which is create a clone of your current position when you dodge. That's a clone. You can shatter it, but you're probably not going to be doing that since this isn't a shatter build. I think this trait is irritating personally. Like, for example, you're doing a raw, you're doing path 3 or path 4, you go to the fucking room with all the trash mobs before Lupicus, and you go to the eye turrets, you jump down, you get in combat because shit's shooting at you, and you fucking go to dodge, and oh my god, there's a clone, now it's running across the room, oh shit, the mobs see it, here comes the hunter that you just snuck past, and it fucking wipes your party because they're eye turrets, blinding fucking everybody, and shit like that. That's really, I don't like clone on dodge. Some people love it, that's okay. I don't have a problem with those people. Actually, fuck you if you use this trait, it's retarded as shit, but I guess it serves a purpose. And then, last trait line, we've got Inspiration, 30 points there, so minor traits that I don't care about, Glamour Mastery, Glamour Skills recharge 20% faster, so like Feedback. Good to have for Reflection. It's awesome in Fractals, although if you don't take Mesmers and Fractals, like a certain French friend that I have, then this trait probably won't be as big of a deal, but it's good in other places, like Ara, the Alphard, Shepherd of the Waves, that fucking asshole boss. Feedback is awesome for him. Feedback is good for Lieutenant Kohler in AC, but ArenaNet destroyed that dungeon long ago, and I don't think anyone does it anymore. So, yeah, but that's the idea, like, glamour skills, cool. Phantasmal Healing, I don't care. Warden's Feedback, that's going to make your Temporal Curtain and your Phantasmal Warden both reflect, so you've got some projectile reflection. You can position this sort of like a wall of reflect. You want to put it, like, close to you. You don't want to put it right up against the mob because it has something to do. I think Strive explained a while back, and I don't know if it's changed since, but like the angle at which things like projectiles are flying, they may or may not go over it, the curtain, so you want to put it closer to you, and it will definitely reflect that way. So it sounds more confusing than it is, and I mean, if you've got the opportunity to use it for reflect, test it out. I'm not going to do that here because I don't want to make the video too long and piss people off, but Phantasmal Strength, this is another big one. So we've got Phantasms do 15% more damage. That was probably, I don't. There was another one of these somewhere. I already forgot where it was. But yeah, and then Temporal Enchanter. This was kind of just like, I guess the one I picked up after fucking where are you? Where are you? There. This piece of shit. Shattered Conditions. in theory, you should be able to take 10 points out of Honor with a Guardian and take Shattered Conditions, and that should be your condition removal. But the skill has something like a 5 to 10 second internal cooldown, which is sort of what we were getting from testing it out in like COE. That may not be that internal cooldown may be a bit off, but I think it's somewhere around there. And also, it has to do with where the clones shatter, like with respect to the player. So, like if you're standing slightly away from where the clone explodes, then you may not get your condition removed. I think it had a 600 range, if I'm remembering that correctly as well. It may be less, and it may not even be like I don't know. It's weird. It's very strange, and you can test it for yourself and see. But it's just I don't think it's worth taking. And also, there's a delay. So if like you need to remove a condition and you have like a pistol, like a duelist, like far away, and he has to run his ass over and explode, then like it may be too late. By that point, you may already have a party member down. And it also makes like removing conditions like cripple during trash runs kind of hard. That's something to keep in mind as well. But that's essentially, I guess, everything for traits. For your heal skill, just take Other Feast. It's a 20-second cooldown. It works great. Who fucking cares about mantras? Signal of Inspiration is great if you use it before a fight. Like, get somewhere like away from the boss, safe range. Everybody uses for Great Justice. Fucking signet that shit. That's all your might stacks. You go in and fucking fuck shit up. So, yeah. Good. It's good to have, although if you play with game sounds on, I don't, then like AFKing in Lion's Arch with headphones on or whatever, it will get irritating to hear I can outrun a centaur or whatever the other shit they say is. So if you're gonna AFK and just fuck around, change this out for something else. It doesn't matter. You got Blink. Blink's pretty standard. You don't need it everywhere. Sometimes you can switch it off for Null Field or Portal if you need to, you know. You guys know what you can do with Portal. I'm not going to talk about it, and you shouldn't be exploiting. It's bad, but I don't know. And then Feedback's good to have unless you... If you don't need Reflection, then don't bother taking Feedback. You can take something else. You could swap it for Null Field again or anything else. If you need a Stun Break that's not Blink, you could take Mantra of Concentration. That's pretty good for Lupicus to get out of his bubbles because you got like 2 charges and you can just activate it and go. That's about all there is to that. And then for your elite skill, Time Warp's alright, but Avatar of Melandru I think is better, especially because you've got like 100 seconds of stability. So like if you're doing a Raw Path 2 and you can't quite run past all of the Sentinels and the Deadeyes and the Inquest when you're skipping mobs to get to the last boss, if you want to be kind of gimmicky about it, then you could make use of this skill and just fuck Time Warp. Time Warp sucks. You shouldn't be using it. So that's about it. But anyways, thank you all for watching, I guess. I don't know, fuck. I hope this guide was slightly helpful. If you don't like swearing, then maybe it won't be helpful to you and you probably stop watching already. But anyways, I do appreciate feedback. But yeah, so leave comments, like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to Strife if you like, and you can see more videos from me pop up on Strife's channel. Probably, I don't know how constant I'll upload there, but whenever you want, whenever I want, I don't know, fuck. And so I guess that's about it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.